Lucky Track. Chapter 1. A pleasant ringtone of the mobile phone passed through from under the thin quilt, and the protagonist took out his phone with sleepy eyes. Hey! There was a confusion in his tone that had not fully awakened. An unfamiliar number flashes on the screen, and there is a red mark, Lucky Account Get Notification. Me was stunned, rubbed his eyes, and muttered in his heart, Lucky Account. Can I turn over as a salted fish? A line popped up on the phone screen, Congratulations on getting a lucky account, please verify your identity immediately. My heart raced, and my fingers trembled as I clicked verify. In an instant, the air in the room seemed to be activated by an electric current, and tiny points of light flew out of the mobile phone screen, instantly covering the entire room. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 2. The light dots swirled, as if stirring the entire space into a whirlpool of light and shadow. I felt that the floor under my feet began to float slightly, and the whole room seemed to enter another dimension. This. What's going on? He muttered to himself. The desks, chairs, and even the posters on the wall in front of him were eroded and distorted by the points of light, forming flowing patterns. At this moment, a teenager wearing a white hooded robe suddenly appeared in front of him. I am the guardian of the lucky account, you chose to activate it. The young man smiled, his eyes deep. He was stunned, he couldn't understand the scene in front of him at all. The life of the salted fish was actually led into an unknown and strange world by an account. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 3. What are you going to do? Me asked carefully, with a wary tone. The young man waved his hand lightly, and with a flick of his fingers, a light blue shield appeared around his body, surrounding his body like water waves. Your lucky account can not only change reality, but also give you a choice in this world. But remember, every choice can change your fate and that of others. He swallowed his saliva, and the confusion and excitement in his heart were intertwined. He never thought that his ordinary life would be completely turned upside down by an account. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 4. The light dissipated, and the room gradually returned to calm, but there was a transparent crystal card in Mia's hand, engraved with strange runes, shimmering with soft light. This is account? He looked at it suspiciously. The boy nodded. This is your connection with the lucky track, and every action you take will be recorded and blessed with luck. Remember, your life will never be the same again. Mia's heart swelled with unprecedented anticipation and uneasiness. He tucked the card into his pocket and took a deep breath, trying to steady his heartbeat. At this moment, the mobile phone rang again. It was a message. Congratulations, you have started the first step in your new life. Please go to the southern district of the city, Night Shadow Street immediately. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 5. Night Shadow Street, a neon-lit, narrow and winding alley, is full of unknowns and dangers. Mi Liao stood at the street intersection, feeling uneasy, but the crystal card in his hand flickered with a shimmering light, as if guiding him forward. Deep in the alley, a shop called Countercurrent Cafe emits a faint smoke, and a girl wearing a mask stands at the door, her eyes sharp and mysterious. You are the new owner of the lucky account? The girl asked in a low voice, with a hint of temptation in her tone. Nodded, and countless questions flashed through his mind. Are you? Who? The girl smiled. My name is Chen Ying, and I am one of the guides of this city. Your lucky account will go through many challenges with me that you can't imagine. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 6. Inside the cafe, the lighting is faint and warm, and the air is filled with fragrance. Chen Ying took the microphone to a hidden corner, where there were several transparent crystal balls on the table, each with different colors of light floating in them. These are the trials of the lucky track, and every choice will affect your fortune and future. Chen Ying said, pointing to one of the crystal balls. He reached out and touched the crystal ball, and the dots of light instantly enveloped his body, and a picture of the future appeared in front of his eyes. Some people successfully turned over, some fell into danger, and some people passed by him. Can your heart withstand these changes? Chen Ying asked. There was a warning and expectation in his tone. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 7. The light faded, and he returned to his cafe seat, but he felt like the whole world had changed. The crowd on the street seemed to be particularly friendly to him, and even the smiles of the vendors on the side made his heart warm. This is lucky? He muttered in a low voice. Chen Ying nodded. Luck is not just a superficial good thing, it will lead you to greater challenges. The turnaround you want often requires risk. At this moment, a man in a black robe walked in from the door of the cafe, his eyes cold, as if he were from another world. You are the new owner? My name is Han Yao, and I am one of the supervisors of the lucky account. The man spoke in a low voice, with a sense of oppression in his tone. His heart tightened, and he felt that his ordinary life had been completely rewritten. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 8. Han Yao put his hand on the table, and a flowing pattern instantly appeared on the table, like a maze, and like a miniature of the city. This is the first challenge you are about to face, Lucky Maze. Every choice you make will affect your destiny and that of others. He swallowed his saliva, clenched the crystal card, and took a deep breath. Chen Ying reminded from the side, remember, your heart cannot be shaken, the power of luck will not interfere with your mind, it will only amplify the consequences of your choices. He nodded, feeling nervous and expectant. He understands that this is the real beginning of the turnaround of salted fish, and it is also the starting point for his adventure with the lucky account. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 9. In the maze of Night Shadow Street, neon light and shadow intertwine, and the streets change direction as if they come to life. Every step you take, a different scene will appear. Some people fall on the street corner, some people run and shout, and some people slowly walk towards the door of light. Here. Is this true? He muttered, his heart beating faster. Han Yao said coldly, the boundary between reality and fantasy depends on your mind. Lucky accounts are just tools, whether you can turn around depends on yourself. He took a deep breath, clenched the card, and stepped into a laneway illuminated by neon lights and shadows, with unknowns and challenges waiting for him ahead. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 10. At the end of the alley, an old wooden door appeared, and strange runes were engraved on it. The light flickered, as if attracting the microphone into the unknown world. He stretched out his hand and pushed the door, and in an instant, the entire street was engulfed in light and mist, and a city floating in midair appeared in front of him. The city's tall towers, bridges, and streets are intertwined, full of irregular light and shadow, as if they are breathing dynamically. Welcome to the City of Luck. Chen Ying's voice came from the light and mist, with mystery and anticipation. He knew that the real adventure had just begun. Chapter 11. In the light and mist of the floating city, I felt an unprecedented sense of oppression. The streets are not straight, but twist like liquid, and with each step, the ground under your feet spins slightly, as if the entire city is breathing. The shadow floated away, and the white robe turned into countless light threads in the light and shadow. Her eyes were fixed on the tower ahead, and she said softly, the City of Luck is not just a trial, it is a creature in itself, it senses your heart and changes the challenges you face. Frowned, clenched the crystal card with his fingers, feeling the inner uneasiness and excitement intertwined. He asked in a low voice, what? What happens if I choose to back off? Chen Ying stopped and stared at him. Luck will not punish you, but it will not save you either. You can only rely on yourself, and every choice will change the trajectory of your destiny. As he spoke, a dark shadow slid out from the street corner, with a sharp laugh, cutting into the light and mist like a blade. Shocked, he clenched the card, the crystal flashed light, instantly forming a shield to block the approach of the black shadow. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 12. After the black shadow dissipated, another figure appeared in the light and fog. This was a man wearing a silver mask and a dark red cloak, holding a curved long sword in his hand, flashing with cold light. You are the new owner of the lucky account. The man spoke in a low voice, his tone coercive. He swallowed his saliva, felt his heart beat faster, and the crystal card flashed as if he sensed danger. Chen Ying waved her hand lightly, and the shadow surged around her like a wave. He is the Phantom Gatekeeper, you must pass his trials before you can enter the next stage. The man approached step by step, the streets seemed to be frozen by his breath, and the air was chilled. Mi stared at him nervously, took a deep breath, and pressed the crystal card to his chest, feeling a warm current running through his body, as if power was silently giving him courage. Chapter 13. The phantom gatekeeper's long sword suddenly swung down, and in an instant, the space seemed to freeze, and the whirlpool of light and shadow surrounded Mimi. His heart tightened, and his breathing became rapid. Feel its rhythm with your heart. Chen Ying guided in a low voice, and the shadow in his hand turned into a light blade, forming a semicircular shield to cover the microphone. Mi tried to mimic the rhythm of his breathing, directing the light energy of the card in his hand to his chest, and the shield began to expand, colliding with the sword light of the phantom gatekeeper. The long sword clashed with the light energy, making a pleasant and sharp sound, and the entire street seemed to be cut by vibration. Just when Mi was about to run out of strength, countless tiny points of light flashed in the light mist, and they flew towards the phantom gatekeeper like elves, interfering with his offensive and creating a breakthrough for Mi Li. Chapter 14. Mi took advantage of this opportunity to move quickly. The card in his hand flashed with light, and his shadow was magnified by the light mist, forming several clones to confront the phantom gatekeeper. Each attack carried a slight spatial distortion, and the sound of the wind under the swing of the long sword seemed to split, creating the illusion of a swirling labyrinth. The phantom gatekeeper frowned slightly, and he realized that the connection with the card's energy was not simple, and began to change his attack strategy. I felt a wave of fear in my heart, but it was more of a thrill of challenge. He realized that this lucky account was not just protection, but a test of his wisdom and courage. Chen Ying reminded from the side, don't just rely on shields, use your creativity to change the tide of battle. He took a deep breath, changed his mind, and led the shadow clone into the air, while releasing the light energy of the card to form a light bridge, which instantly flashed to the side of the phantom gatekeeper and successfully broke through the defense line. Chapter 15. The phantom gatekeeper stopped. The long sword was withdrawn. His voice was low and calm. Yes, you know how to use the environment and power. This is just the beginning. He gasped, still holding the flashing card in his hand, and his eyes flashed with uncontrollable excitement and curiosity. Chen Ying smiled. Congratulations, you passed the first trial. The power of a lucky account will not directly change you, but it will amplify every effort you make. Looking at the crystal card in his hand, a strange confidence welled up in his heart. Even an ordinary person could find a way to survive and turn around in this strange city. Chapter 16. The light and fog on the streets gradually dissipated, the silhouettes of the city's towers emerged, and irregular balls of light floated in the sky, spinning like small planets, each emitting a different color of light. These are lucky nodes that amplify the likelihood of success in your actions and also reveal hidden dangers. Chen Ying said. He stared at the ball of light and secretly planned in his heart, since luck can help me, then I will use it as much as possible to see how far I can turn over. At this moment, a transparent figure shuttled between the spheres of light, extremely fast, almost like an illusion. It was Shadow Wings, one of the guardians of the City of Luck, and they were good at manipulating opportunities and probabilities. Chen Ying reminded. Mi was shocked, knowing that the challenges ahead were more complex and dangerous than he had imagined. Chapter 17. Stepping on the road to the tower, every step was like stepping on the clouds, and the light and shadow under his feet vibrated with his heartbeat. He began to try to communicate with the crystal card, feeling that it could sense his will. Maybe. That's the power of luck. He whispered, and the light energy in his hand flowed, extending all around like a river. The shadow wing swooped down from a high altitude, so fast that it was almost impossible to see its figure, and the sound of the wind it brought was like a blade cutting through the light and mist. His heart tightened, and he immediately used the card energy to form a shield, and at the same time dispersed the shadow clones to guide the attack away from him. Chen Ying observed from the side and nodded slightly. Your reaction is better than I imagined, but it takes more wisdom and courage to master luck. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 18. Pass through the light mist maze and encounter countless floating light balls and phantom creatures. Each orb of light has a different attribute. Red enhances power, blue amplifies wisdom, and green restores mind. He began to learn to make choices in an instant, which ball of light touched first and which to avoid, and every decision could change the next path. Shadow Wing reappeared, this time with more phantom clones, as if the entire sky was following him. Holding his breath, he used the light energy of the card to form a confusing light and shadow, and successfully avoided the pursuit. He felt a pleasure he had never felt before, turning over in danger, relying not only on luck, but on his own wisdom. Chapter 19. Stepping on the last staircase to the tower, the stairs seemed to be suspended in mid-air, and every step was accompanied by light and shadow fragments flying away, as if stepping on a galaxy. Chen Ying floated beside him, and the white robe danced with the wind. Ahead is the core area of the City of Luck, and it is also the final challenge of your first round of trials. His heart beat faster, he took a deep breath, and the crystal card in his hand flashed with a shimmering light, resonating with the light and shadow under his feet. Are you ready? Chen Ying asked softly. Well, I won't back down. Mi replied, although his voice was weak, but firm. At the top of the stairs, a light door slowly opened, emitting colorful light, as if leading to another world. Shadow wings hovered around the light gate, as if testing him. Holding the card tightly, light energy flowed in the palm of the hand, and shadow clones gushed out like a tide, ready to meet the unknown challenge. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 20. In the light gate is a labyrinthine city floating in the void, with tall towers and streets crisscrossing in the air, as if every corner is breathing. Feel the energy of the city, it will change its path according to his inner fear and courage. This is the maze of luck, where every choice can impact your destiny. Chen Ying's voice came from the air, as soft as the wind but irresistible. Shadow Wing swooped down from a high altitude, with sharp light blades, so fast that it was almost impossible to see clearly. His heart tightened, and instantly directed the light energy of the card to the shadow clone, forming an illusion maze and interfering with the direction of the attack. Great, you are starting to learn to use the power of luck. Chen Ying whispered in approval, and the shadow danced like flowing water, forming a defense net that combined shields and attacks. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 21. The maze of streets began to float and flip, and light and shadow fragments fell like meteor showers, each emitting tiny energy that could affect the shape of space. I carefully stepped on the fragments, feeling that every step was like stepping on time. He took a deep breath and channeled the card's light energy into the fragments beneath his feet, which flashed into a transparent bridge and successfully crossed the revolving streets. Shadow Wing appeared again, this time faster, with several phantom clones, trying to trap me in the middle of the street. Mi turned the light and shadow clone into a rotating blade, cutting the phantom clone, and at the same time using the light energy of the card to form a light wave, forcing the Shadow Wing to retreat a few steps. That's luck. Mi secretly said in his heart, feeling that his courage and reaction were instantly amplified. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 22. In the maze city, a floating square appeared, and there was a pillar of light in the center of the square, and countless points of light rotated in the pillar, like countless threads of fate intertwined. That's the lucky core, you have to pass it, to complete the first round of trials. Chen Ying said. As he approached the pillar of light, he felt that every step was being pulled by countless fate lines, and his inner fear and desire emerged at the same time. He took a deep breath, his fingers clenched the card, releasing light energy all over his body, and the shadow clone merged into the pillar of light like a tide, beginning to interact with the fate line. The pillar of light instantly burst out with dazzling light, and Mi Li felt that he was being pulled into countless possible futures, and every choice flashed through his mind like lightning. Don't be afraid, your decisions will guide luck. Chen Ying whispered encouragement beside him. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 23. The light gradually stabilized, and when he returned to the square, his heart was full of shock and a sense of renewal. Shadow Wing hovered in the air and whispered, "You succeeded, but the real challenge has just begun." He seemed to be able to predict some short future moments, which made him move more calmly in the maze. Chen Ying smiled, you have already begun to master the power of luck, but to fully master it, you still need to face more unknown challenges. A door of light appeared in the square, flickering as if summoning him to step into a new realm of adventure. Took a deep breath and stepped into the light door, the whole world changed again, and his adventure really began. Chapter 24. Inside the light gate, there was a strange forest shrouded in fog. The trees tower into the clouds, and the leaves emit a shimmering light, as if they have their own breath. Mi felt that every step into the forest, the light, shadow, and wind were responding to the rhythm of his heartbeat. Suddenly, a group of translucent elves flew out of the fog, their eyes filled with curiosity and temptation, spinning around the microphone, as if examining his heart. Holding the card tightly, the shadow clone turned into a barrier and attack tool, and the elves hesitated for a moment, and finally turned into a point of light and melted into the ground, guiding him on the way. Chen Ying appeared on the treetops and whispered, "This forest will sense your courage and determination, only those with a strong enough mind can pass through." Chapter 25. Deep in the forest, a lustrous lake reflected the starlight, and countless balls of light floated on the lake, like eyes of fate. He squatted down and reached out to touch the water, and the ball of light instantly dispersed, forming a path leading to the depths of the forest. He felt the resonance between the lucky card and the light energy of the lake, and every step was like stepping on light and shadow, with a vibration of unknown and hope. At this moment, the lake suddenly rolled, and a giant snake of light and shadow jumped out of the water, its eyes flashing with cold light, as if testing the courage of the microphone. The shadow clone moved rapidly and confronted the giant snake, and the card light energy turned into a rotating light blade, cutting the space and forcing the giant snake to retreat. Chen Ying smiled in the distance, "Your courage has begun to amplify the power of luck." Chapter 26. After the light and shadow giant serpent was repulsed, the mist of the forest gradually dissipated, revealing an aerial light bridge leading to the tower. Standing on the light bridge, I feel the resonance of light energy and wind, and every step brings a synchronized increase in mind and strength. Shadow Wing appeared again, this time faster, with several phantom clones, trying to trap me. After taking a deep breath, he turned the shadow clone into a rotating blade, and the light energy of the card formed a shield and light wave, successfully dodging the attack and counterattacking the phantom clone at the same time. Chen Ying whispered beside him, "This forest and the bridge of light are your psychological trial, and it is also a place where your luck is amplified. Every breakthrough in courage can enhance your luck." Chapter 27. Stepping on the light bridge, the sound of the wind beats against the eardrums like a tide, and under the bridge is a bottomless whirlpool of light and shadow. Every step is like stepping on a flowing galaxy, and the points of light beat with the heartbeat. He felt the light energy of the card resonate with the light and shadow of the bridge, and his whole body seemed to become light and sharp. The shadow wings spiraled down, and several phantom clones attacked at the same time, bringing up sharp light blades, so fast that they could hardly see clearly. Mi's heart trembled slightly, and immediately dispersed the light and shadow clones, and the light energy of the card turned into a rotating light shield, deviating the attack from itself. Chen Ying watched from high in the sky, his white robe fluttering in the wind. "Your intuition is starting to synchronize with the force of luck, this is the beginning of a breakthrough." He took a deep breath and introduced the light energy of the card into the light bridge under his feet, and then sprinted forward at high speed, successfully avoiding the phantom attack. The light spots on the light bridge flickered as if applauding him. Chapter 28. At the end of the light bridge, a suspended transparent tower appeared. The tower body was intertwined with countless rays, shining like crystals. He raised his eyes and felt the powerful energy fluctuations emanating from inside the tower, and every step he took was like communicating with an unknown force. Chen Ying reminded softly, "This is the Tower of Luck, the core is to master the balance between the mind and chance. You must enter the tower and complete the final trial." He clenched the card, his palms sweated slightly, his heart beat faster, he took a deep breath and stepped into the tower. The space inside the tower was irregular, the walls and floor flowed like liquid, and light and shadow blocked his progress like a solid body. He felt that every heartbeat would change the arrangement of light and shadow in the tower, and every step had to be calculated, judged, and intuition. underscore 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 un. Chapter 29. Countless labyrinths of light and shadow appeared in the tower, and the passages changed shape as their mood changed. I felt countless possibilities springing up in my mind, and every choice was like a dialogue with a parallel world. Shadow Wing reappeared, so fast that it was almost impossible to see, with a rotating light blade, like a sharp blade cutting through space. Me immediately spread the light and shadow clones throughout the tower, and the light energy of the cards turned into a light net, guiding the attack away from him. This is the interaction between luck and the mind. The shadow whispered, and the white robe danced with the light, like a shadow and like light. Me gradually adapts to the environment inside the tower, using light bridges, light shields and clones to cooperate. Every attack and defense is full of strategy and adventure. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 30. A suspended ball of light appeared on the top of the tower, emitting colorful light, like the core of destiny. Me felt that the light ball contained countless possible futures, and every touch could change the trajectory of his movements. This is the lucky core, your final trial. Chen Ying's voice was low and clear, as if it was coming from all directions. Mimic clenched the card, and a wave of determination surged in his heart. He began to resonate with the energy of the light sphere, and the shadow clone turned into a rotating light blade, shuttling between light and shadow. The ball of light rotated, the light and shadow were distorted, and every movement was like a dialogue with the future, and I felt the intertwining of countless possible fates. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 31. A dragon of light and shadow suddenly appeared inside the ball of light, and the dragon's eyes flashed with cold light, exuding a strong sense of oppression. Me felt his heartbeat resonate with the ball of light, and he understood that this dragon was the last guardian of the Tower of Luck. The light and shadow dragon spread its wings, and the dragon's claws pounced on the microphone with the power of space tearing. He concentrated the light energy of the card on his chest, and the shadow clone flew around, forming a rotating light shield to resist the dragon's claw attack. Chen Ying watched from high in the sky and whispered, "Only the combination of courage, wisdom, and luck can break through the final trial." He took a deep breath, changed his mind, and resonated the clone with the ball of light, forming a rotating light blade to face the attack of the light and shadow dragon. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 32. The power of the light and shadow dragon was dispersed by the rotating light blade, and the space cracks spread like smoke. I feel my strength and luck blend into one, and I can briefly predict the direction of my next attack and react as quickly as possible. The light and shadow dragon suddenly turned into countless light points, flying and scattering inside the tower. Each light point fluctuated with energy. Guide the energy of the card with the momentum, take back the light points, and merge them into your own power. Chen Ying smiled, "You have mastered the true meaning of the lucky account, not just luck, but amplify your determination and wisdom." Underscore 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 un. Chapter 33. The ball of light on the top of the tower slowly rotated, and the light became softer, as if acknowledging Mi's growth. The shadow wings and light dragons disappeared, and the tower returned to tranquility, but the air still vibrated mysteriously. I feel the energy in the cards flowing like a river, and my body and mind are strengthening in sync. This is the beginning of turning around. He whispered, his heart welling with confidence that he had never felt before. Chen Ying's figure appeared, and the white robe danced with the wind. "Congratulations, you have completed the first round of trials. Next, you'll face bigger and more incredible challenges." Underscore 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 un. Chapter 34. The light gate reappeared, this time leading to an arena floating in the void. Countless spectators of light and shadow floated around the arena, not humans, but the energy consciousness of the lucky city, observing each challenger. Mi Li stood in the center of the arena, the card in his hand flashed, and he felt his mind and the power of luck perfectly integrated. Chen Ying floated in the air and whispered, "The next challenge is a test of your strategy, creativity, and courage." In an instant, another challenger appeared, a teenager in a dark purple cloak with piercing eyes and a dangerous aura. Mi thought to himself, "This time, we can't just rely on luck, we must use wisdom and courage to surpass our opponents." underscore 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 un. Chapter 35. The arena begins to transform, with a chessboard of light and shadow emerging on the ground, and each move can trigger traps or rewards. After observing the light points on the chessboard, the shadow clone turned into a rotating light blade, tested the trap first, and successfully avoided it. The dark purple boy is equally careful, every move is full of calculation and strategy, and the arena is full of tension. He whispered to himself, luck can amplify my efforts, but it will not directly help me win. The light and shadow chessboard changes over time, traps and orbs of light intertwine, and challengers must make quick judgments and moves. Me used the card energy to successfully guide the light and shadow clone to trigger the trap, forming a countermeasure strategy and forcing the opponent into a corner. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 36. The dark purple boy frowned slightly, flashed and teleported, avoiding the attack while using the power of light and shadow to fight back. I feel that the attack power and countermeasure power are intertwined, and every judgment determines the direction of fate. This is the most brutal thing about the Lucky City, you have to compete with yourself and your opponents at the same time. Chen Ying said in a low voice. He quickly adapted, and began to use his clone to induce his opponent into a circle of light and shadow, while he broke through the defense line of the chessboard's light point from the other side. The entire arena is intertwined with light and shadow, the wind is like a knife, and the light energy of the cards is completely synchronized with the mind, forming a dynamic balance. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 37. Me successfully forced the opponent to the center of the chessboard, and the light and shadow clones surrounded him like a tide. The dark purple boy sneered, and suddenly burst out the power of light and shadow to the limit, forming a rotating light blade that directly broke through the encirclement of the clone. Dodged to avoid it, secretly surprised in his heart, the opponent is stronger than I imagined. He took a deep breath and combined the card's light energy with shadow power, creating an unprecedented rotating light shield that blocked his opponent's attacks. The light and shadow collided, and the entire arena seemed to be shaken, and the audience's light points emitted dazzling light, illuminating the battlefield as if it were day. Chapter 38. The collision of light and shadow burst out in the arena with dazzling light, so dazzling that even the eyes could not open slightly. He stood in the center of the whirlpool of light and shadow, feeling as if he was surrounded by light and shadow, and every breath seemed to absorb the energy of the entire city. The dark purple boy shouted angrily, and instantly burst out with the power of the entire chessboard's light points, forming a torrent of light and shadow, rushing towards the microphone like a storm. After a while, he jumped up subconsciously, and the light energy of the card instantly condensed into a rotating shield, and the shield light wave repelled the torrent, leaving flashing spots of light in the air. Chen Ying floated in the air, his eyes as deep as starlight. You must be calm and observe every slight change. Luck doesn't make decisions for you, but it amplifies every choice you make. He took a slow breath, observed the rhythm of the dark purple boy's offensive, and calculated the possibility of every dodge and counterattack in his mind. He suddenly realized that light and shadow clones can form a chain reaction with card energy, creating new offensive and defensive patterns. Try it. He whispered, the palm light energy suddenly burst out, and the clone turned into a rotating blade and rushed towards the opponent like a storm. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 39. The dark purple boy was surprised. He didn't expect Mi's strategy to be so bold and accurate. The swirling blades flew like meteors, each attack carrying spatial fluctuations, cutting through the chessboard's light spots and plunging the entire arena into chaos. I felt my heartbeat resonate with the light and shadow, and every breath was adjusting its strength and direction in sync, as if directing the rhythm of the entire maze of light and shadow. The dark purple boy began to fall into passivity, and his offensive was restrained by the clone and the blade of light and shadow, and he had to change his strategy. Chen Ying watched from high in the sky, and his white robe danced with the wind. Very good, you already know how to combine luck and wisdom. Remember, true victory is not just about strength, but also about mastery of the environment and psychology. With a firm look in his eyes, he knew in his heart that victory did not depend on luck, but on the superposition of wisdom and courage. He smiled slightly, and the light energy of the card in his hand burst out again, forming a seamless attack and defense with the shadow clone. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 40. The light and shadow chessboard changed even more violently, and the balls of light floating in the air began to rotate, bringing out strong energy fluctuations, as if challenging Mi's patience and judgment. Feeling the resonance of the card, he can briefly predict the opponent's next move, but he needs to accurately judge each path. The dark purple boy broke out again. He changed the light points on the chessboard to the limit, the space began to distort, and the light image surged like a liquid, trying to trap the microphone. Mi immediately guided the clone into the air, using the rotating light blade and light shield to counter the attack, while using the card light energy to stabilize the space under his feet and maintain his balance. Chen Ying reminded in a low voice, "You must learn to predict, not only the opponent's movements, but also the synchronized rhythm of light and shadow, luck, and your own abilities." He held the card tightly and silently thought in his heart, I will definitely be able to break through. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 41. In the arena, the torrent of light and shadow gradually dissipated, and Mi Li and the dark purple boy stood in the center of the light ball. Their breathing was short, sweat and light and shadow intertwined. I felt the improvement of my mind, and every choice became more decisive and calm. The dark purple boy frowned slightly, and respect flashed in his eyes. "You really knows how to control the power of light and shadow." Smiled, "This is not only strength, but also strategy and courage." Chen Ying floated down gently, his white robe danced with the wind, and his eyes were full of praise. "You have surpassed yourself when you first entered the lucky city, and your real turnaround has just begun." The light points in the arena suddenly rotated, forming a huge door of light, as if summoning the microphone to enter a new adventure. He took a deep breath and stepped into the light door, feeling the whole world turn upside down again, and his heart surged with unprecedented anticipation and determination. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 42. Inside the light gate is a floating city in the sky. The city is made of crystal light stone, light and shadow flow like water, and the bridges are staggered, as if the space itself has been rewoven. I felt the power permeating the air, and every step I took was like stepping on a wave of light, making me feel both nervous and excited. Chen Ying explained, "This city in the sky is the deep area of the lucky city. The challenge here is not only strength, but also wisdom, emotion, and psychological endurance." Looking around, he found countless light and shadow creatures floating in the city. They twinkled like stars, each of which could be a trial or a trap. He clenched the cards, and shadow clones gushed out like a tide, interacting with the creatures of light and shadow, testing their attack rhythms and weaknesses. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 43. At the top of the tower of the Sky City, a huge labyrinth of light and shadow appeared. The maze seemed to come to life, and the walls and floors changed with the microphone. He felt that the labyrinth could read fears and beliefs, and every hesitation could cause space distortion. Chen Ying reminded softly from a distance, "Stay calm, your mind determines fate, luck will only magnify your choices." He took a deep breath, fused the card light energy with the shadow clone, and the rotating light blade began to destroy the trap light points in the maze, opening up a way forward. Suddenly, a light and shadow illusion appeared, looking exactly like me, with a cold smile. "You? Is it me?" I was surprised and felt an unprecedented psychological oppression. Chen Ying whispered, "This is your inner mapping. Your fear and self-doubt will be magnified, only by defeating it can you move on." Underscore 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 un. Chapter 44. The light and shadow illusion suddenly attacked, extremely fast, and each blow was as precise as cutting through space. He was shocked, but quickly calmed down and used the light energy of the card to form a rotating shield, while the shadow clone counterattacked from different angles. During the battle, he felt the fear, hesitation, and courage in his heart intertwined, and every dodge and counterattack was like a dialogue with himself. The attacks of the light and shadow illusion became more and more fierce, but the more he fought, the more courageous he became, and gradually mastered the rhythm of attack and defense. Chen Ying whispered in the sky, "Defeating yourself is the true power of luck." Mi nodded slightly. The rotating light blade and the shadow clone became one, finally shattering the illusion, and the fear in his heart also dissipated. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 45. The labyrinth disintegrates, the city in the sky returns to tranquility, and the floating light stones emit a soft glow. Standing at the top of the tower, I felt that the light energy of the card was completely integrated with me, and my mind, courage, strategy, and luck were complete. Chen Ying floated to his side, his eyes like starlight. You have completed the highest trial of the lucky city. From now on, every choice you make will be magnified, and your life will no longer be ordinary. Mi Liao felt a strong confidence welling up in his heart, and he understood that his salted fish life had been completely turned upside down. The light gate reappears, this time leading to the unknown, seemingly beckoning him for a new adventure. He clenched the card and smiled. No matter how dangerous it is ahead, I will move forward bravely. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 46. Inside the light gate, there was an boundless starry sky, and each star shone with a different light. Floating in the starry sky, you can feel the light energy of the cards turning into a galaxy surrounding your body, bringing unprecedented power and freedom. Chen Ying appeared in the river of light, his tone gentle but powerful. The lucky city is just the beginning, you will step into a wider world and face more incredible challenges. His eyes were firm, and the card in his hand was shining. I am ready, no matter how far I go, I will go on. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 47. Miniatures of floating cities appear in the starry sky, each filled with creatures of light and shadow and labyrinthine structures. I feel that I can instantly travel through light and shadow, explore the unknown world, and my heart is full of curiosity and adventurous desire. Light and shadow creatures fly like small planets, and shadow clones blend perfectly with card light to form infinite possible ways to act. Chen Ying whispered in the distance, every choice in the future will be magnified, and your luck and hard work will create countless miracles. Smiled, his eyes as bright as stars, this is my new life, and my adventure has just begun. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 48. The city of light and shadow in the starry sky begins to change, with revolving light gates and floating light bridges appearing to connect the unknown world. Step by step, every step is like stepping on the intersection of time and space, and the mind and luck are completely synchronized. The shadow clone transforms into a rotating light blade, destroying obstacles, and the light energy of the card forms a shield against unknown energy attacks. Chen Ying floated beside the light bridge and whispered, you have learned how to control luck and wisdom, this is the real power of turning over. Nodded, his heart full of faith and determination. He understands that the challenges in the future will not decrease, but he is no longer the salted fish he once was. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 49. The light gate leads to an infinite river of light, and every drop of light is a possibility for the future. Floating in the river of light, feel the light energy of the card merge with you, and the shadow clone surrounds you like a tide. A guardian of light and shadow appeared in the river of light, trying to test his mind and courage. Holding his breath, he completely fused the light energy with the shadow clone, rotating the light blade and the light shield, and easily passed the trial. Chen Ying smiled, you have fully mastered the power of the lucky account, not just luck, but amplify your mind, wisdom, and courage. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 50, Final Chapter. Mi Li stood at the top of the river of light, looking at the boundless starry sky. His figure was wrapped in light and shadow, shining like stars. This is my life, from salted fish to the person who controls his own destiny. I whispered, my heart full of confidence and hope. The cards flicker gently, and shadow clones swirl around them, as if celebrating the victory of this adventure. Chen Ying floated beside him, his eyes gentle, lucky accounts are just tools, what really changes you is your courage, wisdom, and determination. From now on, your life will no longer be ordinary. Smiled, held the crystal card in his hand, and looked at the boundless starry sky, no matter how much unknown lies ahead, I will go on bravely. This is my lucky life. In the floating light and shadow, Mi's figure gradually merged into the river of light, and his life was no longer ordinary, but also full of infinite possibilities.